The recording of this week's episode of the Matterhorn Yodelers was prior to the announcement that Bob Chapek is no longer the Disney CEO. Thank you and enjoy the rest of your show. Attention, bobsled riders! You will soon be embarking on a thrilling podcast down the icy slopes of the Matterhorn, so please remain seated, keeping your hands, arms, feet, and legs inside the bobsled at all times. Auf Wiedersehen!
Hello, Yodelers. We are the Matterhorn Yodelers. I'm your host today, Jackie, and we have...
G5th.
And...
I'm Bob Chapek, everyone. I'm back to sell some more merchandise on you.
Bob, you just always love making money out of nothing.
Yes, money. I mean, guest experiences, yes.
And today we're going to be talking about the new Magic Band Plus.
Yes.
That Disney World's had for a little while.
I think they
like
got
for
it in
the summer.
I think they had it in like August or June or something. They got it. It was sometime in the summer. I know that.
Yeah, and they got it sometime in the summer, but Disneyland just recently got it.
It was something that they've been talking about for quite a while.
Yeah, I mean, they announced it at D23.
I think it was the last, not the one this year, but the one before that. They announced that it was coming to Disneyland.
Well, this was something that, like, all of, like, you know, Disney World fans or parks were like, oh, we have Magic Bands, and, like...
People at Disneyland were like, we don't care.
Yeah.
We don't want Fast Pass.
But Peter was at the park when they released the Magic Bands at Disneyland.
Yeah, it wasn't planned or anything like that, but we were planning to go to the park for my wife's birthday. And I wasn't planning on doing a trip report about this trip, but there was something eventful with it. It just so happened to be the same time when the Magic Band Plus became available for all Magic Key holders, aka annual pass holders. And the first day we arrived, so when we checked into our hotel, that was the first day it was available. So as soon as I checked in, I drove down to downtown Disney by myself, and I went on my long journey to get myself a Magic Band. Oh.
No, question, because I don't know the answer to this.
Mm-hmm.
Is the downtown Disney parking lot open?
Yeah.
Oh, it is
It's
open.
a Simba parking lot.
Oh,
so it's
okay.
like behind where the Paradise Pier Hotel is.
Oh, okay.
So it's a hike.
Yeah.
So like I parked there, and then you hike all the way down past both hotels,
Yeah.
Paradise Pier and Disneyland Hotel. I made my way through downtown Disney where the old AMC theater was, all the way to the front end of the area of World of Disney. I get there and I'm looking and I don't see them. And I'm like, oh no, they sold out or something. I don't see any signs or anything like that. So I go ask the cast member, they're all like, and I think it was like 9 o'clock at the time. It was almost 9 o'clock at the time. And so I get there and they're all like, oh, we're not selling those here yet. The Magic Key that they're having the Magic Key shop in the old ESPN zone on the other end of the thing, and they close in 7 minutes.
Oh no!
And I was all like, no. And so I don't run. It was a sprint,
A sprightly run
yes.
or jaunt or something.
Right. And I make it all the way there, huffing and puffing. They're all like, I was like, I made it. Did I make it in time? And they're all like, oh, we're open for another hour. I was like,
That cast member just wanted to have fun with you.
I know. I was like,
Cast members behaving poorly.
Yeah.
Well, at first, the first cast member said, oh, I think they're closed. And then another cast member was like, no, I think they closed in like 7 minutes. And I was like, oh, okay.
They're in on it together.
I went in there and they had a selection. Some had sold out at the time. They were all restocked by the next day, but I picked one. I think it's I had choice between two of them that I was kind of debating with. One was the not the partner statue. I think it's the storyteller statue from
Okay.
California Adventure with Walt and Mickey. And then there was like a Disneyland band. And so I was debating between the two, and the statue with Walt was more on brand for me, so I went with that
Yeah.
one. And so yeah, that was, and I got it, and I charged it, and I messed with the settings with the app because it syncs to the Disneyland app.
Do you have to charge up the band?
Yes, because it does stuff.
Yeah, so these bands.
Oh, you sold me on stuff.
Yeah,
It does
Give me
stuff.
more.
they have extra stuff, but like the original Magic Bands at like Disney World, that battery lasts about like 3
Well, they're not-
years. The old ones.
The old ones don't have a battery.
They do.
It's a chip that's scanned. Like you put in your that's where your ticket. So like you can get in with your park ticket regardless,
Right.
no matter what. This has a battery, I'm sorry, going back, that chip is still in Disneyland's in the Magic Band Plus. So like even if the battery ran out, I could still get into the park with a dead battery. It just doesn't do the other interesting stuff.
Okay.
Magical stuff.
Right.
So even if it's dead, you can still get in.
still use it. You just can't. It doesn't. It won't light up and
do the
vibrate
fun things. Do all the reasons of why you spend
correct.
however many. So how much were they?
They depended on the band you got. If you got more of a generic band, it was like $40.
$40 for something that lights up and vibrates?
Yes.
Sorry, I've got laryngitis, so my voice sounds ridiculous right now.
He was in a screaming contest with Harold the Yeti.
I lost.
So on the cheaper end, it's like 40, but some of the more limited edition ones go over 50. So
That's scary because in the future prices are just going to increase.
oh yes, they will.
And then I'm like, what, are they going to charge like $100 for these things?
Back in my day, we had paper tickets. It said A, B, C, D, E.
Paper tickets are thing of the past now.
Gone.
I think
They don't
Disneyland
even-
stopped doing them now.
I think on rare occasions now for certain things, but not anymore. It's all through your phone.
So to kind of give you an update on what it does. So basically your Magic Band Plus is your park ticket. It syncs up to any of if you've signed up for lightning lanes and things like that, you use that. You go up to the little machine that you would normally stuff your phone into. You just go up to the pad, put your wrist up to it. You wear it like a watch. I didn't talk about that. You wear it like a watch. And you just go up to the panel. It lights up green when you're good to go, and you can go into the attraction or into the park. But yeah, it's just a glorified ticket that you can wear.
Now with the new Magic Bands, I know like before the new fancy Magic Bands came out, Disney World had like a Magic Band version 2 where like you can pop out the middle part and put on like a keychain instead because people didn't like wearing it on a watch. Could you do that with this one?
I'm not sure about. I know it can come out. When my wife was talking to them, they said that they interchanged the bands with the center puck.
Okay.
I think you have to unscrew it with a screwdriver to do
Sure.
that. But yeah, you can interchange them. I'm sure you can make a keychain out of the puck itself if you wanted.
Okay.
That seemed like. I mean, it's a little bit more difficult than the original Magic Band.
You don't have to buy like 5 different Magic Bands just to.
Right. So
Could I buy just one and put my family's on there?
no.
Because like
It links up
I've
to-
got like a 2-year-old.
Right. And we dealt with that issue with
It's gonna get lost.
my youngest. So so later on in the trip, on our last day, my wife decided that she was gonna get one and my oldest son was gonna get one, but my youngest son, we felt like he was a little young for a $40 wristwatch that barely fit my oldest son because of how big it was. So we're holding off on that for now for him, but eventually he will get one. I'll talk about the pros and cons of the Magic Band.
So
So
it's
we got
not
further.
required.
It is not.
It is not required to enter
No.
the park
It is
and
not.
enjoy.
You can still use your phone as your park ticket.
So what are some features that it does?
It lights up.
It lights up.
When does it light up?
Yeah.
That's the thing. So it lights up in a lot of different places I didn't expect. And I don't remember.
In the bathroom? No.
Yeah, totally. So, like,
Gosh.
I mean, the only thing that they kind of, in the advertisement, that they kind of advertised was that it would light up during the shows, like the nighttime shows, the fireworks, World of
Like
Color,
the old Mickey Mouse
Fantasmic.
ears.
Yes, like the glow with the show ears.
Yeah.
Yes, same concept,
I'm sure
but
it's the same
not
technology.
as cool because it's on your wrist and it's like it
You
doesn't
hold up your
Oh,
wrist in the
everyone's
show.
doing the Viking clap where they all got their arms both up.
right. It's not as cool as the glow with the show ears, but it's still it's a fun gimmick.
Sure.
I'll call it that. It's a gimmick. But there were some lighting effects that surprised me that I hadn't seen on the Disney World side, but at Disneyland I saw a lot more of. For example, on the Haunted Mansion, when we went. So we went and we paid for our fast pass or lightning lane. We went up to the machine. It did the little like ching ching, letting you know that you're welcome in, and then it made like this like ghost sound, like woo.
The actual wristband makes sounds.
No, not the wristband,
It's
but like
the
the machine
machine.
made a sound in reaction to you using.
So you
it.
have to, like, when you check into the ride, you use your band.
Yeah, you use your wristband.
Okay.
So, like, instead of throwing out your phone and, like, okay, scan, flip, as you're going through your park tickets, you can just walk up, boom, boom. Cast members love that. They're like, oh, this is the best
Oh,
thing
it makes
ever.
it so much easier for the cast
So that
members.
they don't
I
have-
totally see it.
They don't have to walk people through the app.
Count how many tickets they have.
Right.
People sneaking in other people and
Yeah, they loved it. Every time I use it, they're like, oh, thank goodness. Like, they didn't have to worry about us at all. But in the ride, it actually was reacting as we were, at the Haunted Mansion when you're going up that final escalator on your way out. When you have at the time it was Sally,
Yeah.
but it's normally
Hurry back.
it's normally the bride saying hurry back. Well, it started pulsating like a heartbeat and it was glowing red. So it was like doo, doo, doo,
Oh,
doo,
cool.
doo, doo. So it was kind of like a cool effect. It was also vibrating. And this tends to be, I noticed it a lot on like while we were leaving attractions. Like on Spider-Man, it also did a fun little lighting effect and vibration when leaving that attraction. So I imagine that it's going to be incorporated into a lot of different attractions.
now
So.
the effects at the end, that only work if you use the fast pass, or do you think it works for standby?
I only noticed it when it was fast pass.
Okay.
That was the only time that I noticed that it did something.
It lights up even more when you paid for those fast passes.
Right.
Yeah.
It's like super bright. You're like, well, I'm extra special, guys.
I'm the chosen one.
Bob's like, yeah, you are.
We didn't see the Doctor Strange show, but it also reacts to the Doctor Strange show that happens at
Okay.
Avengers Campus. So yeah, so it does a lot of fun things in that regard. So I mean, yeah, it's kind of like a fun little surprise when that happens. So it's kind of like, oh, look, it's reacting. Which I
Could
had.
that be annoying because you're like wanting to be in the experience and then you're like, it's
My
like it's like
wrist
being
is buzzing.
It's like I have an Apple Watch and I fall asleep with it on, and then if I like turn it while I'm sleeping, I've got this bright light in my eye, and I'm like, oh no, it takes you out of what you're doing.
Well, I don't think it ever happened on an attraction. It always happened like on
At the end.
at the end when we were out of the vehicle already. So it never impacted the actual attraction itself. So in that regard, it was kind of like a bonus as you're walking out. You're like, oh, it's
okay.
doing something.
So it doesn't mess with the ride experience.
Right. So yeah, I mean, and then as I've mentioned earlier, it also will glow with the shows. and I saw it reacting to Phantasmic at the time. We didn't actually watch Phantasmic, but it was definitely
I'm surprised
reacting.
your wife didn't make you stop and watch it.
Well, we were planning on to, but a circumstance happened with our youngest child losing his dinner that made us go, we need to go. So
Code V, Code V,
Code
and
V.
Phantasmic.
Yeah.
uh,
So, for the Phantasmic, you were just in the area when
we
it
were,
happened.
yeah, I was with my oldest. We were doing Indiana Jones at the time.
So reacted as far as like to Adventureland.
Yeah, like well, we were walking by and you see the fireworks going off with Phantasmic, and it was definitely reacting there.
Okay.
So, and they didn't have World of Color. They were still doing the Halloween night. So when we were in California Adventure, it was Halloween night. So we didn't see World of Color that trip. So,
And when you're watching the show, was it just different colors?
yes,
What was
it'll change colors depending on what's happening in the show.
Okay.
So like if it's green, it'll be green. If it's red or orange, if there's fire, that'll be
You're
reflective.
talking about the
in.
atmospheric lighting around. It'll match that type of
Yes.
lighting. Okay.
Yes. So as I said, it's the same premise as the glow with the show ears, but smaller and not as impressive.
Okay.
So that would be that aspect. The other aspect, there is a new game at Galaxy's Edge that this is exclusive for. You cannot do this without a Magic Band. You have to have a Magic Band to play this game in Galaxy's Edge.
You talk about like the old Tower Terror ride,
What?
Galaxy's Edge, and that the no sorry,
That's Guardians of the
that's
Galaxy.
Guardians of the Galaxy.
Get your galaxies
I'm
right.
all mixed up with my galaxies right now. Okay, in Star Wars land.
Star Wars Land.
Thank
Yeah.
you.
They have a bounty hunter game, and so,
Was it super busy when you were doing it?
well, no, because it was still annual pass holder start. I imagine right now it probably is kind of crazy.
Yeah.
But when we were there, when we started, there was nobody doing it. By the time we were done, there was definitely a line of people trying to do it. Maybe they saw us doing it.
It's
and-
always they're all like, "What are they doing?" I want
Yeah.
to do that now.
Right. So all it is, it's a game. You have to have the Disney Play app as well. Why they don't have it all in one app, I don't know. But you have to have the separate Disney Play app. And you go up to a special door and you put your wristband up to it and you get a bounty. And your wristband will vibrate as you get closer to your bounty. And your bounty's hiding behind one of the many doors in Galaxy's Edge.
So it's like Kim Possible
Yes.
Yeah.
It's kind
from
of like
Epcot from like the 2000s.
right. It's the same premise.
Doot 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 doot.
Oh yeah.
That's a little deeper. Sorry, I can't do the high pitch.
Do, 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 do.
Good job.
So we did it with I technically haven't started, but we did it with my wife's and my son's oldest son's Magic Band. So because she took the youngest, I took the oldest, and we went to different spots, and it takes you through that whole city section
Okay.
of Galaxy's Edge
Batu,
of
yeah.
Batu. You don't really go on the outskirts. All the doors are in the town, surprisingly, right?
They want to
um,
keep you near the gift shops.
But right. But yeah, it'll turn red if you're getting further away. It'll turn green when you're getting closer, and it'll be purple when you're at the door.
Oh.
Okay, and then when you're at the door, you turn your app on, you scan the door. It scans the door because you show it. It uses your camera and it scans
Does
the
it have
door.
a sound effect? Can you make the sound effect?
It's like yeah, something like that.
Nice.
Yes, it's the official sound of the door. And then you see the figure. You see the figure, the alien that you're looking for, and then you go back to the door and you scan your wristband, and you get like you get a little like interaction with the Bounty Hunters Guild guy, whatever, and he's all like, "Oh, this is your first bounty."
Oh, the one from Mandalorian.
different guy.
Oh, okay. It's
Different
not
guy.
Apollo Creed.
No,
Well, it's
Or
a,
Chubbs.
different planet.
Yeah, it's a different planet. So, but like, yeah, he's kind of like, yeah. So he just has fun, witty banters for everyone that you do. I think there's, from what I've done on my research, there's like at least 20 bounties you could do.
Okay.
And so each one will give you a different reaction from the guy. And your progress is saved, so you can come back and do it later. So you don't have to go and spend 3 hours or 4 hours looking for these bounties. You can
what
can
did you
do
do, Disneyland? I chased imaginary bounties at Star Wars Land.
right.
Sounds fun.
Right. And so like it'll save your progress. So when we go back, my kids will be picking up right where they left off. So instead of being on number 1, they'll be on number 4 or 5. So that it was kind of a fun experiences at the time. My kids, they were dressed up both as Boba Fett and Mandalorian, so they were getting tons of reaction. Everyone was watching them, being the bounty, looking for the bounties.
That's
and
really fun for the boys.
Every time the stormtroopers came by, they all reacted to them like, different reactions.
So they
every single
interacted
time.
with
every single time. Yes.
I mean, you don't see many like Star Wars dress. Like you always see the princesses
Right.
dress up, but not so much like Star Wars. I mean, you'll see like a little Rey running around.
Right. But it was cool to see the other guys, the other dads being like, that's cool.
Yeah.
And be like, yeah, I'm the cool dad that has.
You are the cool dad.
Yeah.
So, like, yeah, that was kind of a fun experience that we had when we were doing
I
it.
just let my kid run around with flares and knives. Now I'm the irresponsible dad.
So, I mean, and as of right now, I'm sure they're probably going to do a lot more interactive things with it because they're doubling down on this Magic Band stuff. So I imagine there's going to be a lot more. As of right now, the Disneyland version, you can't hold credit card information on it.
No, you cannot, and it does not link to the rooms at the Disney resorts. Which
Right, not yet.
I think it's so weird that they don't have that feature.
Which I imagine it will.
I'm sure they're working
Their
on it.
information must be on different servers where they're just not communicating. Like
Yeah.
you have a separate app, and it's like, well, that seems like for development where you don't want it.
Well,
Like you don't want to have this Play app interfering with the app that everyone deals with, and you're like, oh, you need a new update. How about a new update and a new
Yeah.
update because you're really test driving this one.
I mean, I've talked with a little bit with Mark on like Disney's apps and programming and such, because he's into that. That's kind of his line of business. And he goes, honestly, Disney World and Disneyland app are probably on 2 different type of like code and like type of like, one may be on Java, one might be on like a different type of code or language. And so that's why Disney World and Disneyland apps are so different, and why Disneyland you have like that Play app and such.
Well, the Play app works for both Disneyland
Right.
and Disney World.
And it's so much like how much can the existing app hold, and
It's not easy to translate a code from one language to another.
yeah, and just like creating a brand new like system or code is expensive. So it takes a lot of time. So I can see why they're just adding on.
Right. But I mean, for the most part, that's pretty much what it does. For now, I imagine there's going to be a lot more experiences, things to interact with down the road. But as of right now, that's what the Magic Band does. Now, if you're asking yourself, well, is it worth the money? Well, I would say it depends. Are you a family that goes once every 10 years? Probably not for you. If you're a family that goes once, twice a year, you might be a good target audience for this product, because there is a level of convenience. Just walking up and just tapping your wrist to the machine and walking right in without having to like fumble through your phone and refreshing, or you don't
Frozen screen.
Yeah,
Or phones
the
die.
screen falls like dead at the wrong time.
That's why it's good just take a snapshot of your tickets.
Right.
Yep.
So, So yeah, so like there is a level of convenience. So like that's what you're paying for. You're paying for convenience when you have that. One word of advice: when you buy it, it comes like quarter charged. So when you first buy it, it's only quarter charged.
So don't be fooled.
Right. Don't be like, it's only lasting like an hour.
How long is the charge? You would
The charge, if it's fully charged, you'll last you the day. No problem.
but something you would want to charge every day.
You would want to charge it every day. I forgot to charge mine in the middle of the night for the second day. But we charged at the same time when my wife and my kid, they bought theirs. We have a battery pack, and it charged it like within 10 minutes, fully charged within 10 minutes. So it didn't take long to
Does it
charge.
come with the actual wall plug, or do you need to bring your own?
It comes with a cord. So
it got a cord, but you need that USB plug into the wall. So if you're planning on buying it, you probably want to bring
that
extra
or
plugs
an external battery.
or external batteries to charge them.
something to plug a USB cord into. So yeah, that would be the word of advice for that. The Disney World Magic Bands do work at Disneyland. They just at Disneyland only sell certain ones there.
So Jackie, the one that we got in 2016, do you think those would work?
No.
No. And those bands, I learned recently, like they only they'll go dead after like 5 years or something like that.
I was hoping you were gonna say like, well, there's a lawsuit out there for those who had used those magic bands at Camp Lejeune. You know.
Nope.
No, I don't think those magic bands work because those were like the first generation of magic bands, and then they came out with the second generation, and then this is like the new fancy generation.
This is Gen 3.
Yeah. And who knows, maybe Gen 4 will have a touchpad.
Right. But I mean, it's a cool product. You know, we have them stashed away with our Disney backpack, so we know exactly where it is for when we go next. So we're not gonna lose them.
Was there something you didn't like? What are some cons you don't like about them?
It's expensive for what it is.
It is expensive.
So if you're on the fence, maybe wait a little bit. Wait till they add a few more features to it, maybe a few other interactive elements. You know, weigh out your pros and cons. But as I said, if you're like, I go once in a blue moon, this is not for you.
yeah.
You'll want to put this. You'll be like, I'm good with the phone until Disney's like, no, you have to buy the Magic Band in order to get in. Which, who knows? That might
I
end up
hope
coming.
not. I hope it doesn't get to that point.
So
At that point, they would just include the price into your ticket.
right
I think so.
Yeah.
at that point. So be prepared to pay $300 a day at Disneyland. No,
It's getting there.
we're getting close. But yeah. We also got something else. Not Magic Band.
Did you get a churro?
We got a churro. I did.
Mickey bar?
What flavor?
It was that sour cherry one that I talked about
Oh yeah,
from the
yeah, yeah.
last one. That was not very good.
Was that the one that came with like dipping sauce or something? No, probably
I don't
not.
think it did. I'm
Okay.
trying to remember. I don't think that one came with the dipping sauce, but that one was super sour. No. So at Avengers Campus, they have their web supplier shop, and in there they sell these Spider-Man toys. And these toys aren't just regular toys; they're toys that actually interact with the Spider-Man attraction itself.
That's pretty cool.
Oh wait, are they like you get extra points and stuff for them?
They give you different abilities.
Okay.
So if you ride the ride normal, you fling your wrist around and you're just
Get
shooting.
a really good arm workout.
Yes, it's a really good arm workout, and you fling your wrist around and you just get that single, web shot as you go. If you buy the base component in the attraction, you'll shoot 3 at a time instead of just 1.
So you gotta buy up like
It's
like
it's
video
pay to win.
games.
It's pay to win. But they also have
I'm waiting for that for Buzz Lightyear. where you got like a machine gun. And it's like, a laser, zerg.
They have different attachments that you can add to the base model based off of different superheroes. So they have an Iron Man one, they have a Doctor Strange one, and I think they have another, a different Spider-Man one that you can add on. And they do different things in the attraction. One, the Doctor Strange one opens portals.
Oh.
Yeah, it opens like portals that you stop the spider bots. Iron Man shoots like blasts, kind of like his beam. And then the Spider-Man one shoots electric webs. So like you'll shoot one and it'll like infect the other spider bots around it. So you'll get lots of points doing it that way. And so they had a special deal where if you bought all three, you get one of them free. So sort of buy two, get one of the things free.
So, okay, so let me just kind of get some clarification.
Yes.
So it's like, I've seen them before.
Yes.
They're like the wrist, like attachments.
Yes, you wear them on your wrist.
And then the like different abilities, are they like different attachments onto it?
Yes.
So could you buy all of them and have like all of them go off at once?
Not on one device, no.
Oh, okay, that'd be kind of cool. Where you're like Iron
like,
Man, Doctor
going.
Strange, just like got all these lasers and things going on.
Well, you can create fake arms, right? And then like
You
go
walk
in.
in, you're a spider.
Yeah.
And before you use it, it's best to talk to a cast member beforehand because they'll tell you like how to make sure it gets activated, how the vehicle registers your addition. This is like, don't turn it on until you're sitting in the vehicle. Wait to turn it on until you're sitting in the vehicle. Then you turn it on and it'll register then.
It's like Bluetooth to your
Yeah.
But like you got to keep in mind. So like you got to buy the base.
How much is the base?
I don't remember. My wife bought these ones. I wasn't really present when she bought them. But I think they're like probably somewhere in the same range as the Magic Bands, $40-$50
That sounds about
for the
right.
base. And then the add-ons.
You guys can't see it, but I'm rolling my eyes real hard on
it's
that
really
one.
expensive. These toys are very expensive. And they do other things. I'll talk about that here in a second.
Do they make me dinner? Do I get a sandwich out of this?
Some of them you can get. They're There's fans in a couple of them. So, if it's a hot day, you can you can cool yourself off a little bit with these
Yeah,
toys.
because I'm gonna be steaming mad how much my wife just spent money on.
It just kind of worked out where like we bought all three expansions and we bought we bought three bases and then all three of the expansions. So everyone but me had one. I ended up taking my youngest because it doesn't fit him. He's too small for it. So I ended up taking his.
Oh, you just took it from him. You bullied
No.
him. You're all like, you're not big enough, buddy.
I'm gonna get the high score. Actually, that was like the worst round I did was when I had that. But what was I about to say? But the additions, I think they're like $20-$30 a thing for the additions.
Yikes.
It's definitely pay to win.
Yikes.
So they don't just interact with the attraction; they also are toys as well that you can play with offhand.
And break when you're at home and so you buy new ones.
Oh, they are in the Disneyland bag that they don't get pulled out.
They don't get to pull. Okay.
They wanted to like after we bought them because we did California Adventure first day and then did Disneyland the second day. The kids wanted to bring them for the Disneyland park day, and we're like, no, that's gonna stay back in the hotel. Like we're not in that park. We're not bringing the toys.
Yeah. Smart.
Welcome to adulthood, where we buy toys and we don't play with them.
Right. So the Spider-Man one has kind of like a mini like rope that shoots out, kind of like a web. It like shoots out, retracts, goes back and forth. So it's kind of fun to be like, ooh, boo, boo.
It's all fun and games till someone's eye gets poked out.
The Iron Man one has like a fan in it, And like they show you the like, oh look, you can like make these balls levitate, and we never could get the balls to levitate. They just like fall, they just blow off to the side. I'm like, whatever, it's a fan. You just blow a fan on your face.
Was that Casey's?
Yeah, I think that one was Casey's. She took that one. And then the Doctor Strange one I think was the coolest one, because it's actually a big fan. But it's one that has those lights on it, so as it spins, it like makes different symbols.
Okay.
So it makes the Doctor Strange symbols that you would see from the movie or whatever. So like you can act like you're opening portals or whatnot. So it's actually really cool, and it is a fan, so you can, if you get the right angle, cool yourself off with that as well.
Okay.
So those were some of the super expensive.
Some of these new toys that Disney's coming out with.
Right. Am I gonna say it's worth it? No, I wouldn't say it's really worth it.
I don't think it's worth
if
for
you-
the Spider-Man
Maybe we'll
toys.
talk to the vloggers. They'll be like, "This is the best thing ever,
Right.
guys."
I think some of the vloggers that I've watched, they're like, it's not that great.
It's not the greatest. I mean, like if you like the Spider-Man
If
attraction,
you're really into that kind of universe and like you're a super
you'll
fan,
probably enjoy that.
yeah, you would enjoy it. But I think for like a normal, like
A casual audience.
casual family,
No, do not. It's a lot of money. And you could tell the staff there were super pumped about trying to sell them. Like you can tell they probably get a little bit of pressure to be like, we need to sell these things because they're not nobody's buying them. But I wanted to let our audience know about this other object that you can use to interact with.
I think it's
the
cool
park.
that they got stuff to interact with the park. I always thought those, like, you see the one video where everyone's got the ears and
Right.
roll of colors going, and it's like, whoa, that was really cool. Now to get everybody to wear the same ears again.
that's
Right.
hard.
It worked really well when they handed them all out to the audience for
yeah,
free.
when they're free.
Sure, I'll wear them.
But when you're asking them to pay for it, they're like, no, I don't think so.
Do you think the Spider-Man attachments will last? Because I feel like nobody was buying them when I was there. Like,
I don't know. I mean, we'll see. I mean, we'll find out if they add different ones, if they have more for the different other superheroes. We'll see. Like,
trying to think of other, like,
Oh, I'd want Thor. He's shooting lightning everywhere and really bad jokes.
it's just like a sound that just says bad jokes.
Bad dad jokes.
how about Ant-Man? He makes them shrink, everything shrink.
Ooh, that'd be cool.
Oh, and the bride?
Right.
Yeah. That would be cool. But also harder?
Yeah, I know. We make
Maybe
things
larger. 'Cause
You can't shoot the person or shoot the...
maybe larger because you can get
easier
them.
target to shoot when they're bigger. Maybe.
Yeah. That would be interesting. Who knows? Disney's doing some new things in the parks lately.
They're trying.
They're trying
I
to...
applaud the ingenuity of trying to do things. I got to see the giant Hulk in
Oh,
the park.
yeah.
I saw Hulk there, so like that was kind of an interesting experience. So
And what, Mandalorian? And
oh, and
Grogu.
supposedly there is an interactive Magic Band experience for Hulk. He like
Oh,
if
is
you
there?
I think there's a little panel there that if you do it, like he'll say something special to you. I think I saw.
It's like E.T. He'd be like, go home, Jimmy.
Oh, and it also works with PhotoPass, the Magic
Oh,
Band's
that's
PhotoPass.
nice.
So if you've paid for the PhotoPass or the Lightning Lanes,
They could scan
they
it.
just scan your wristband, and
It's
that works there.
convenient that way than like trying to pull up your phone with the code or have the
Right.
card.
So there is.
Are there any features in California Adventure with Magic Band?
Not really.
Yeah,
Just
it's-
besides the couple, like, it vibrated a little. That was about it. Like, not yet. But I
think
imagine
their
there will be.
focus is right now Disneyland with it.
I mean, I think they're just trying to get it up and running. I think eventually they'll add things. I think when they allow you to put like a credit card information on there, where instead of like I gotta pull my wallet out, you can just like boop and just have it
Put
scan
in the
your.
code.
Kind of
and
like that
then-
Apple Pay. It'd just be more
Yeah.
convenient.
Well, a lot of people are talking about like they wish they just like pair up with Apple and have a feature with Apple Watch.
Well, and what would be really helpful too, especially if you're a Magic Key holder, is if it registered the fact that you are a Magic Key holder
And you get
with
the
your credit,
discount.
it automatically, so you don't have to like
prove that
prove that
you bought it.
you're
Yeah,
a
it's
pass
already
holder.
connected, so you don't have to be like, I'm an annual pass holder.
Or you've got the Visa discount,
Yeah.
the Chase Visa discount, or a DVC member, whatever it might be.
Who would do DVC anyways? No, I'm just
I
joking.
don't know. Maybe let's go back and listen.
We should listen to that podcast. It was
Yeah.
pretty good.
Yeah.
Javith, is there any feature you would maybe that would push you over to getting the Magic Band?
I think the pay would be the biggest thing,
The
to have
pay.
a credit card on there, and that it's secure.
Right.
You don't want someone walking around like, blip, blip,
Scanning
hey, I'm rich.
I think there was a lady who claimed like she lost like $36,000 because it fell off on Finding Nemo. And
You
there's
have to you have to enter in the pin.
I know. I think she was just trying to pull something. But yeah.
I was like, there's no way someone, because when I was working at the resorts and we were setting up the Magic Bands for guests staying with us, and we'd be like, okay, who do you want access to the credit card?
She's like, everyone. What's your password? 1, 2, 3, 4.
Well, and they'd be like, okay, we could do this. And I'm like, you can do it for your kids and give them a special code. I think you can set a certain limit of how much they can spend.
Oh, I heard that wasn't the case. So okay.
Well, it was, I believe, back then.
Okay. I could be wrong. I don't know.
On the original ones.
I don't know.
And then it took one Karen like, I've got lots of money. Take the limit off. All right. Go right ahead.
My kid can't buy their 50th churro. What's wrong with you?
You monsters.
Take my money.
We think highly of Disney guests.
Yeah. Okay.
These Disney adults, right?
They're the worst. Wait, we are. Never mind.
Oh, dang it. Okay. Cool. So you say it's both of the things you mentioned, the Magic Band and the Spidey Bots, they're worth it if you go to the park a lot.
I would say the Magic Band is worth it if you are a frequent visitor of the parks. Spider-Man, that one, it's a very niche audience. Who that might apply to. Like if you're a person, if you got a kid that's Spider-Man obsessed, it might be a good purchase for you. If you guys don't really care about Marvel, it is not worth it. The attraction's not really the greatest attraction. It's okay. It's not a bad attraction. It's just okay. But it's definitely not worth the amount of money that they're asking to get a higher score.
Yeah, because at the end, who cares?
I do want that Buzz Lightyear machine gun. It's like 50 cal like lasers going out. Yeah, that's what I want.
Okay, well, to our listeners, let us know, do you think it's worth getting the Magic Band Plus? Is it something that you may be interested in? Or if you have it, what are some other things you enjoy about it? Let us know. You can email us at matterhornyodlers@gmail.com. You can follow us on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter.
For now, maybe.
For now.
We'll see what happens.
Oh, with Twitter? Yeah, who knows with Twitter. And then a special announcement.
I was about to ask you.
Yeah, we have merchandise.
What?
I know.
We're that legit.
Kind of.
No sponsors yet. Hey, Barrow's Pizza, I love your pizza. I'll say Barrow's all the time for a free pizza.
QT.
Barrows.
QT is a great place to go get some gas and some snacks.
We don't have any sponsors.
Barrows.
We release merch just more for fun. My friend Haley, she designed our logo, and
Which people have wanted to buy.
It's
They thought it was actual legit
really great
Matterhorn
merchandise. It's really great. So if you want it, great, get it. If you don't, we will not be offended.
I would be.
We don't get any of that money.
No.
We don't get it. So don't think you're doing it to help us.
Yeah, don't. Yeah, it's not to help us. It's just if you want it.
Because you're like, whoa, this is some cool Matterhorn.
You want to show off your Matterhorn pride.
I
Pick it up.
mean, we don't mind it because it helps get the word out about the podcast, but also your voices do the same. So share the podcast with others. If you don't want to buy a shirt, just share it with someone. Share it with a friend. Share it with a family. We would really appreciate that. And with that being said, have a magical day.
Thank you for joining us on this week's episode of the Matterhorn Yodelers. Please remember, before your bobsled comes to a complete stop, to follow us on Facebook and Instagram. And remember...
Remain seated, please. Permanecer sentados, por favor.